Right, joining us now from Nairobi is Najmul Hassan from Gulf Bank. Of course, he's the managing director at Gulf Bank, and we'll be discussing Islamic finance today. It seems to be gaining traction, of course, in East Africa and the whole of Africa. Najmul, thank you very much for your time today. Tell us about the most recent developments. Of course, you've had a conference that was underway this week, and it seems that the Kenyan Central Bank very interested in terms of the traction that we've been seeing in Kenya in particular.
That's right. I think at the beginning of the conference, there was a message from the governor, and that message was that they wanted to make Nairobi and Kenya particularly as a center for the growth of Islamic finance in this region. Now, this conference attracted a fair amount of attention. We had very senior people representing the Central Bank of Tanzania. We also had people from the Central Bank of Uganda. It's gaining a fair amount of popularity over here, as you can see from the results of the Islamic banks who have been here for the past 2 years, despite lots of challenges that they felt externally as well as internally. They have continued to grow. Our bank has become profitable in a span of about 18 months, which is good for a new bank, and so it looks it looks very exciting, and the market seems to be responding pretty well to the new products.
And also just looking at the growth that we've been seeing in the likes of mutual funds and also the takaful industry, could you give us some insights into that?
Yes, I think I think people are now looking in for investments in areas where they have a feel that this is a lot more secure than just a debt instrument. And takaful, we had a session on takaful which people were extremely interested in. I believe that there are at least 2 companies who have applied for license to start takaful business over here. Again, I think takaful will be very popular because of the inherent nature where it's not really a one-way street of giving premium to the insurance company and then sitting back and hoping that you don't have a loss situation, because if there is a surplus inside the pool, then that is returned back to the shareholders or to the depositors. So by the inherent nature, the way how takaful works, I think it will be very successful. And for an Islamic bank, we definitely need takaful, because a lot of clients who come to us for Sharia reason, they are very disinclined to go in for conventional insurance. So I think it has a strong potential and a great opportunity and a big business to begin from here.
Najmul, let's take a step back and take a look and see how Gulf Bank performed during the tough times. You know, a lot of banks in the whole of Africa came under pressure because of the crisis. Of course, margin loans being a very big issue on the whole continent and in fact globally as well. How did Gulf Bank fare during the tough times? Does this strategy that you've adopted, the fact that you are an Islamic bank, given you perhaps a defensive nature?
I think figures show for themselves. We started off in January 2008, and I think that's probably the worst time to start a new venture, and that also bringing in a product which has a huge perception problem all over the world, and here too, I think it's no different. So therefore, we started on very cautiously. The first 6 months, we were really testing the water. But then since then, we haven't looked back. We had a very high growth strategy. We grew very fast. We became profitable. We have remained profitable since then. So obviously, I think we have approached the sector which was unbanked to a certain degree, because a lot of Muslim population over here concentrated in certain areas. They were not in the banking sector, so we took over that business. Also, the fact that the very nature of the kind of business that we are doing is what you call asset backed. So therefore, it's a lot less riskier. And as our people and customers began to understand the business model, I think they felt much more comfortable dealing with us, and we were much more transparent. So our business, we haven't really looked back. We are growing. We are growing way beyond what we had expected. Really only right now, for us to grow even faster is that whether we have the capacity to handle the amount of business that's coming our way.